Proudly sponsored by Striped Horse. So the next milestone, Sol, are you ready for this? Hey, I'm scared about this one, man. It's never been done before. We're trying to fill up SUNBET AREANA in Pretoria.
Ooh, no way.
On the 15th of April for our 1 million subscribers event.
1 million?
1 million. 1 million. Hey, man, I'm scared about this one, Sol.
It should
What?
be scary. It's not scary.
wait.
It's not scaring us. It's not worth doing.
Cap this way or... that way it's fine. My name is MacGyver Funzo Mugwebo. I'm the host, and I try to keep everybody in line. Okay, so welcome to our first podcast. We've been wanting to do this for so long, dude.
So dumb long.
For so dumb long.
After 5, I don't know English, guys. That is the rule.
For so dumb long.
After 5, English has expired.
Hey man, it's incredible. Like from when we started, never in my wildest dreams did I think we'd get here, you know? I remember there was a time when I just started, I think I had like 10,000 subscribers, and I was looking at like Caesar's numbers. He had like 600,000. Mitlali had like 400,000, 500,000 or something like that. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. There's no way we'll ever reach those numbers, you know? So to see it come into fruition is amazing. And till this day, I don't understand how it happened, you know, but by God's grace, you know, I'm thankful. The most difficult thing was, because I'm a purist, you know, with my background as in broadcasting, was balancing staying true to the to my craft and what I believe in, and also like money, you know what I mean? Because like there's a lot of stuff that we did that impacted or had an effect with the commercial side of the business. So the biggest thing I can say is juggling between, okay, cool, I really want to do this because I think content-wise it's dope, but I know that, you know, it might have a ripple effect in terms of the commercial side. So I think that's the biggest thing, because the difference about the podcasts as opposed to my radio career is that on the radio show it's just me, you understand? But now there's like 30 people that, you know, are looking to me to provide, and 30 people I have to pay and stuff like that. So I think that was the main biggest challenge, because now it's not just no longer about me, it's also having to think about the network holistically and how many people it could affect just by my one action. We got a special announcement to make today.
Guess who's back?
What's the date today? We're recording on Friday.
Back
Today
again.
is the 27th of November. On Friday, where's my camera? This one, ne? On Friday, 27th of November, 2020.
Yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce our brand new co-host on the biggest podcast in the fucking land. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only Sol Penduka.
Thank you, I've arrived, Mama. Thank you for raising me so well. Yeah, okay, cool, let's go.
Let's road to 1 million with Sol Penduka. Scene 6, take 1, and
Mtshele ukuthi akayonya namakhebulu akhe. Mtshela ambonya namakhebulu akho. Angikusabi kuphela mina. My blow job.
You're my blowjob.
Ha! Nginterview ukhanye namhlanje boy. Ghost lady. Sawona ghost lady.
How are you, Sol?
I'm great. What's going on? Yo, sanibonani, Solomzi Penduka, Sol Penduka, podcast co-host, 1/3 of the podcast. Yeah, man. Let's do it.
What has being part of the podcast meant to you?
Oh, I've heard you ask this question and I'm thinking, how am I going to answer this question, right?
It's just...
I'm like, damn, how am I going to answer? Yo, man, it's been, what has it meant Look, it's been a blessing, man. I have to be honest. It's been a blessing. It's been life-changing. You know, most of the things, all of the things, in fact, that I have going for me right now are from the podcast, you know, and obviously the sterling work I do on the podcast. But being on the podcast has truly been life-changing, man. Second lease on life, I guess. And yeah, it's been fun. I didn't get a blowjob, but it's been great.
Believe you me, you're probably getting more benefits.
I'm getting more benefits.
Yeah.
Such as?
No, I'm just saying you're getting far more benefits than just.
Hi, free blowjob.
Everything that you've achieved, Sol, ufuna nje.
Ufuna nje, yabo, sibe munye. Simunye. Now I'm kidding, man. Blowjobs aside. Blowjobs to the sound guy. It's been great. It's been amazing. Like you said, the benefits. But most importantly, I think the work we're doing, man, you know, and what this platform means to people. It's the platform people didn't know they needed. And I think we've all been blessed and lucky. There's been a force that has, you know, blessed the entire podcast. And whenever we've had... Let me not focus on that. I want to say whenever we've had like a bit of toxicity, it always seems to find its way out somehow. But generally, we're a family. And that's how you know that, you know, the platform is bigger than all of us. The platform is almost ordained in a way. You know, people will hear me speak like this, but they'll still go, yeah, but you guys do X, Y, and Z. But I think for the most part of it, we do more good and we contribute more good. There's no ways a million people can like something and it's all for destruction. You know what I mean? We build people, we make them laugh, we relieve them, we entertain them, we inform them, and we get them sucked as well, you know? So I think we're a full bag of different things, but most importantly, the impact we've had and still going to have, it's just been a blessing and it's been a vehicle of change, not just in people's lives, but even across the board as far as the podcasting spectrum, as far as broadcasting, you know what I mean? People on TV are trying to do this. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry's got a podcast, and that's good. It grows the platform, it grows the standard, right? If you've got one channel, do you know these countries with one channel? And everything's weak, like the content is weak. When you see a country and there's one broadcaster, everything's weak, right? However, when you've got all these channels and these plethora of options to choose from, then the standard improves, even though there'll be some that are bad. And that's what the podcasting space looks like right now. There's a lot of podcasts out there, but few and far between are really like, wow, mind-blowing. But how did we get there? By all these podcasts springing up. And thanks to, let's be honest, you know, we're not the first group of people to do the podcasts, you know. There's been many people who've tried doing podcasts, who are still doing podcasts, really talented people, but we're all also blessed, you know, with the talent and the mix of the talent, you know, from behind the scenes, the guys, Black Studios, Kabelo on the website, Fact Checker, you, myself, Mac, everyone who has a hand in this thing being a success. So we're lucky with that mix as well. And the fact that I think that we're at the right time, you know, the timing of it all. Who knows, if Mac had started this podcast 10 years ago, how would it look like, right? Versus when he started it and why he had started it, you know? And I think all of us have beautiful stories. Him, myself, having been in the industry and having started on radio and what happened, you know, we're human, we're fallible. Things happen, we're not perfect. And we were, I guess, written off at some point. And look at us now, right? So I think that's the very special vehicle about this podcast. And a lot of people try to recreate the magic, but they can't. And the beauty is people must find their own magic and their own stories to tell. And that's where the magic is, you know? So when you try to replicate this, of course, you're setting yourself up for failure, you know? But yeah, man, it's a very special place to be.
So before we talk about what happened this week, I think it's important, you know, for on behalf of the network, and the team, we would like to apologize profusely, for the comments we made, what happened, what transpired on Monday.
I think the one moment in hindsight, when it happened, I didn't treasure it, but in hindsight, it's when we almost got cancelled. You remember the Manchester joke and that trouble? Because that almost, it looked like we were all in panic, at panic stations. It looked like the podcast was over. Mac, I'm sure, probably was cursing. And like, fuck, Saul, why did I bring him on? And I'm sure there were people like, we warned you about Saul and all these things. But I think that moment was a defining moment. Number one, the chillers, the unwavering support, because they know what the platform is all about.
Yeah.
And they stood by us, supported us, and most importantly, all the publications that made all this hoo-ha and the noise and were gung-ho in getting us cancelled, they actually propelled us and introduced us to new people who were willing to say, some were like, oh, damn, okay, it's not that deep, or they're like, okay, they made a mistake, but they checked out the other content that we're about, and they loved it, and I think that propelled us. And also, ever since that moment, we have so much freedom to say things, because it's like, if we could overcome that hurdle, that was, sometimes you need to overcome something to know how high how strong you are and how far you can jump up. To get me? And I think that moment was a defining moment, and we don't abuse that. I don't want to call it a license. We still don't go out and be careless with our words, right? But we realize that, oh, okay, cool. The people who are actually tuning in are still with us, and this is what they've got a tolerance for. So I think that was a defining moment and a almost a podcast changing moment, because now it's gone and forgotten, and it has even the brands that come on, right? Before, it also scared away brands a bit, but the ones that come on now know that, okay, cool, these guys, they are expressive, Of course, we're cognizant of rights, just like we all have a right to freedom of speech. We are cognizant of our responsibilities, but I think that one moment is a moment that changed everything, and it's truly, it was panic stations, but it was also a moment of growth and reflection in as far as admitting that, okay, cool, we may have gotten it wrong here, and this is how we'll move on forward. Because it's a moment that has helped us even when we do the podcast now. Afterwards, you go home and you ponder about some of the things and you reflect on them, and sometimes you review them as well. So I think even that moment helped us have those structures in place as far as the editorial policy, as much as it's very lax, but there is an editorial policy, and the guys would admit. And we don't redact to remove a lot of things on the podcast. We barely do. But that moment helped us to mature into the podcasters that we are. And it was a baptism, you know what I mean? Of fire, albeit, but still a baptism, and something that we needed to go through. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, I got the desk on. Antoine, get the lights. Yeah, la. Yeah, away. So good. La la. Ziyahlanya lezi dog. Ziyahlanya lezi.
Hey, kanti solo ungakanani?
I think that was MacG's chair. It was supposed to be here. Fine. These ones bayahlanya. They think they can shut down the podcast.
When we still have chillers in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Popcorn and Cheese.
Hi, everyone watching and here. My name is Mpopops Mudikwani. I am a stand-up comedian. I'm a podcaster. I'm an actor. I'm a presenter. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a lover. I'm a Man United supporter. There's a lot that's going on in my life. I'm a next-door neighbor. Yeah. It's a lot.
That's huge.
That's what my wife says.
ROBOT_BOII. Roboto ×3. The cheese, that's great. 1/2 of popcorn and cheese, baby.
And which part of the network are you situated?
Yazi madusilungu ngicela ukusho sisi wami ukuthi popcorn and cheese. Popcorn and cheese. Popcorn and cheese
Popcorn and cheese.
is the network.
And what has it done for you?
It's working on the net.
My name is Titi Chumia.
I love the Titi Chumerik.
Titi Chumeric, yeah. Titi Chumia, Chumeric the Barbaric. That seems to be the name everyone has given me now. Yeah, Kimfana Lobahomu. And I'm on Popcorn and Cheese as a ghost boy. My journey actually goes further than that with them too, because even when they were at our enemies thing, I was there. I also broke into David Mashabela's studio, and but there was no mic, so there was no ghost back then. You understand?
I'm a break with quid. Guys, we just arrived.
What you guys are doing to that car is not nice.
Hey, dog. And then after we taped, I hope will quit kill Villa Troll.
Being part of the podcast network, man.
Yo. Like, I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the craziest things I've been part of, because it feels so natural to be part of that thing, and it feels natural, and I feel like I can be myself. It's the most myself I can be on these things, and I get to meet like all these celebrities and stuff like that, and in a place where it's normal to be myself, because other places is not cool to be myself.
It's such a groundbreaking thing, because here's a bunch of young black kids who decided to run and make their own thing happen, and being a part of the network is exactly that. We're these young mavericks who have literally carved their own path. And we're on the road to having 1 million of our own subscribers, not ARs, not TV views, not the channel owns these people. These are our people who support us. Real humans. So, man, just being a part of that is it's groundbreaking. Like, we are here, Sila. Location, Sila. But what we do reaches here. That's why I find it in Fagama subtitles, gents. Come on. Oh.
Yeah.
Sila. We reach all over. Sorry.
The spinning.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. I forgot. That's what happens when you move a globe around. Be careful out there, kids.
It's been dope, man. Like, Cheese Gang. Shout out to the Cheese Gang. Shout out to Titi Chumeric, the Paperic. Shout out to Pop Hops. Shout out to the Gang. Black Studios.
Please welcome my partner in crime. If you're an original chiller, you know this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Len Moleko. Back in the game, back behind the mic. How you feeling, bud?
I'm good, man. How you doing? Who am I and what do I do? My name is Len Moleko. I am part of the Onsite crew. We've got a football podcast that we do every Tuesday, brought to you by myself, Len, Super Sub, I won't tell you his name, and Marco. Just sit around the table and talk a whole lot of smack about football, man.
I'm Marco Martins. I facilitate podcasts for a living, so being involved with the Podcast and Chill Network was a natural fit for me.
Jeez, I'm the forefather of the network. Started Podcast and Chill with MacG back in 2018, but I left and then I came back to do Onsite. So yeah, there was 2018 and there was 2023. So you choose which one you want to work with. But been part of the family since then. Since inception, since birth.
I joined the network this year, 2023, with the inception of the Onsite ZA podcast, probably 4 episodes in. I filled in for MacGyver, and I've been a good fit ever since.
Since you joined, how has being part of the podcast changed your life?
Well, it's been great being involved with the podcast and how it's changed my life. I mean, I have a great time talking football. It's one of my biggest passions, and just talking a lot of crap about football is just a good time. So.
was like, okay, cool. My new proposal is 40 million and one.
Technically, he's right.
He actually has. He's got a deal there. Hi, Ghosty.
How are you?
Exhausted, but we're good. Yeah.
You can't be exhausted on your debut, on your camera debut.
Hey, hi, cameras. I am Swisisiwe Herimbi, the fact checker. Yeah, and that's what I am.
How long have you been with the podcast?
Yeah.
I am Duduzile Metula. I'm the content producer for Podcast and Chill with MacG. I'm the executive producer for Piano Unleashed. I work closely with you for Popcorn and Cheese in terms of booking guests. Yeah, and I also work with Grandjo. I think it's also part of the family, so I can mention Grandjo as well. I'm a project manager for Grandjo as well. So yeah, that's who I am.
My name is Gavelo Mahuma, and I'm the IT guy. That's all there really is.
It's authentic. I'm speaking for myself, not just as any typical 2000, but for myself. It's a very authentic platform. You get to understand more than what we hear from propaganda and what's from outside. And the nicest thing is that you guys know how to dilute things. You mix the gossip, the puns, and informative things all at once. So yeah, it's authenticity. 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 Yeah. Thank you. Authenticity. Thank you, Tato. Yeah.
Tato. I told you Tato knows English.
He knows English, right? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's the authenticity.
Jeez. Honestly, for me, it has been life-changing. It really has. I joined the podcast in 2020. I think a month after I'd buried my mother, I joined the podcast. So I was like not in a good space. But it only hit me that I was not in a good space maybe like a year into it. So maybe you know that delayed grief thing? Yeah, so I was just on autopilot, just carrying on, you know.
Yeah.
And then maybe a year into it, when the podcast was starting to grow, mentally, I was at the worst place ever.
Wow.
I was depressed. I wasn't taking calls. Mac would call me, he wouldn't find me. He would call me and find me at times and ask, so who's our guest this week? And I'm like, guest? I was really in a bad space mentally, honestly. So yeah, I joined in 2020 and I think it has been life-changing.
What was my question, Ben?
Are you the Spiwe? The Spiwe.
It's pure what?
It's pure my blood.
It's pure Masango. I'm the sound guy here, you know. Yeah, I run an audio solution company called Angu Audio Solutions. Yeah, I render my services to a Podcast and Chill. Yeah, I'm a CEO, founder, accountant. Zonke lezinto lezi is me.
And troublesome. People
no, why? Ukungibuza nge-blowjob?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's fine. Oh, yeah. Yes.
In fact, why are you so defensive about it?
No, ngoba that's ngoba noma ngihamba estradini, that's the only thing they ask me. Hey, blowjob, hey, blowjob. How?
Do you feel like you became known for the wrong reason?
Known? I'm not known.
Yeah, well, you just said
no. Yeah, these are people that know me, like like personally. So hey, so they know me. So other people haven't seen my face.
But obviously, when people want to know about you, you'll be like, oh, this is the sound guy because of that and that and that.
Man, I don't really mind it. I don't care really. Like, I say it really level, so. ngathola 40,000 subscribers. So how many invoice?
For contributing to the podcast.
I'm contributing.
Okay, everyone. My name is Tabang, taking Machipi, all the way from Bulobedu, Hamapal. Hamapal in Bulobedu. Like in Manj.
My name is Tato Makomu, from Ivory Park, Extension 2 to be precise. One of that, Black Studios. Shout out to Tibla, shout out to Neo. I'm a camera guy. I'm the guy behind the visuals with the gents, obviously. Yeah.
You know, behind the scenes, we do the visuals, the editing. Yeah. That's who I am.
And when did you join the team?
And 27 October.
Oh, same like...
yeah, specifically why we remember the date, because 26th of October was the birthday of Blakey. Right? So we could remember what was happening, because the following day we were going to shoot the first episode with Paul at M Studios. So yeah, it was 2020.
Talking about Blakey, so a lot of people will be actually like, okay, who's Blakey?
Tseho. Yeah, he's our fellow brother that we were working with.
Yeah.
A very lethal photographer. I don't know if there's anyone who can, do what Blakey was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
And he passed on?
He passed on 2021 December.
2021.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Tabang Mabelo and I am podcast and chills photographer and videographer. I've been able to just do what I love and meet people and exchange memories, and yeah man, it's just been a hell of a journey. It's been a crazy journey, but most of all it's been me being able to do what I do and do what I love.
What have you learned from this platform?
That be true to yourself. Be real, Yeah, good abantu baqabangane and whatever. Just do you. Straight up. That's what I've noticed with Mac and Sol and them. Yeah, but yeah, you see that like they don't really care about what people say, whatever. They're just doing whatever they want to do. As long as they're happy, they're cool.
Yo, it's amazing. I mean, we are all from humble beginnings in terms of the work that we do.
Yeah.
So seeing something like this grow us this far, it's actually amazing. I don't want to lie to you.
No, the aim was to grow with the podcast, obviously, because when we came on board, it was like, gents, I wanna grow this platform to, a bigger platform.
Yeah.
So we're like, we are in. So we'll also like to grow with you. So the aim was to grow with the podcast. Yeah.
And looking back now, have you seen the growth?
I've seen the growth. So obviously I've seen the growth. So I've been here before 100K subscribers. Wow. So I've seen the growth.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really amazing.
And from the first day when you started, did you feel like this is an environment that you'd want to be in for this long?
Look, I won't lie and say yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I won't lie and say yes, because the first time when we did it, we took it as a gig.
Okay.
Let's see what's gonna be happening. I actually realized that this shit is crazy.
And serious.
When we were doing the Zola interview, and it was screened at the cinema. That was when I was like, this is actually a moving train. This is where we have to be now.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it came a bit late, but we were there.
All right. So my name is Jason. So my involvement within the podcast is events.
Yeah, man, all the branches that everybody sees from the, Chillers branches. Last year we had the All Black. Yeah, man, me and my team have been responsible for that. It's all about bringing, what the people see on YouTube into a full-on live experience.
And which is your best branch or the best event that you were behind?
The Chillers All Black.
Oh.
The Chiller All Black was amazing, man. It is amazing. Yeah, that was definitely one of the best highlights actually last year. Yeah, that was dope. Yeah.
And when did you start being part of the podcast actually?
I think it was 2022. I think just... No, sorry, 2021. 2021. I think the first brunch was the one at the rooftop when we did the 500,000 subscribers.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was really dope. But yeah, ever since then, it's been an amazing journey. Now we here to road to 1 million.
Yeah.
So we're definitely looking out for that. The team is working hard.
What I've noticed with the podcast since we've started, a lot of people have a lot of things to say. People say it's dead, people say it's reached its peak, people say it's whatever. But what I've realized is that this thing is bigger than us personally, it's all in God's hands. So I cannot sit here and dictate and tell you if the podcast has reached its peak. I don't know myself. It's all in God's hands because everything that has happened, I can't even explain, I realized a long time ago that this is bigger than me. It's all in God's hands and I'm just like a passenger. So he's at the steering wheel. When God decides that, okay, cool, it's the peak, it's the end, then that will be. But until then, we keep on pushing. I think the podcast has been the peak of my career, the highlight of my career. Everything else, I can't really recall, man, because I'm not one person to look back at things that I've done or whatever. So if I do something, I'm always looking forward to what's next, So I've never really had time to sit down and be like, okay, cool, what's the craziest thing I've done or whatever. So I can't really answer that, but what I can say is that in every single day when I wake up, I just try think of and do the next thing.
Hi, my name is Balan and yeah, I don't think guys, no. Wait, but I don't think that's a fair question. Does everybody get like this? I thought we were getting the same questions.
Before we get to the same questions, what happened to MacG?
All right, so MacG still remains the chairman of Podcast and Chill Network, but the reason that he decided to have a CEO in the business is that he needed someone who could essentially commercialize this particular platform and really try take it to the levels that we all believe it should be able to reach.
So in simplest terms, you are the visionary, you carry the ship.
Correct. I think part of what I'm meant to do here is really just, build a vision, build a strategy that can really help us reach, our highest potential within South Africa and also reach, other territories outside of South Africa. We do believe that this will be, a global platform. It's already a global platform, but we can definitely do better in other markets and we need to reach them. So that's really part of the plan for this particular platform.
Hi everyone, my name is Rufuno. Head of Finance, call it Head of Finance. I'm in charge of all things finance for the podcast. And yeah, aligned to the bigger growth of growing the platform to Africa and beyond international.
So after we've reached the 1 million subscribers, what's next? What would you like to see?
I think we've done a lot of things in South Africa, man. We're gonna, I think, take over, man, explore the world, be small again, compete with the biggest in the world, you know what I mean? Get the biggest interviews, travel more, definitely, with the whole crew. And I think that's how we can expand even our content. Because imagine if we don't do that, our expiry date as a platform will, I think, it's gonna approach us very fast. But if we travel, explore, be the gateway for a lot of South Africans. Yes, albeit we live in an internet age, but see the world through our filter, like we've done. Most people are like, oh, you guys, when I watch you, and I'm in Russia, for example, you remind me of home so much. There's so much content I watch from home, but the way you guys, through your lens and your filter, you make it amazing and unique. So we need to do that, for chillers in South Africa and all over the world, but from other parts of the world. So I think traveling and growing this thing and road to maybe 10 million, right? Yeah, road to 10 million, let's get it.
It's exciting, man. It means we get to impact 1 million lives, quote unquote, and just let the numbers count, man, We count everything because everything counts.
And being part of this network, how has it just been a blessing to you? How has it encouraged you? You are on all the cameras now. Yeah, so how has it just opened doors? What doors has it opened for you? What exposure has it done for you? Just in general.
I think it's exposed us to the chillers. And then obviously we've brought in Cheese Gang also just to join the network. And networking with guys like that are part of the studio, getting to know more people, our guests also. Some of them we know them, but some of them we don't. And then through the interviews, we get to understand who they are. Yeah. It's an amazing platform, man. Big shout out to the CEOs also. MacG.
Yo, G. And what would you like to see in future?
I'd like to see more growth. I'd like to see more people being inspired. I mean, we motivate and we laugh as well. We stay on brand. We're never hard to sell. We've got real chats. Nama LOL, and we both got gang, and we blessed as hell. Siyadlala story. Spets nama guest nice and moy. Clear nama bundles. Not of joy. Spirit. It's some pop-ups and robot boy. Popcorn and cheese.
Popcorn and cheese.
I would like to see us taking over the world, touring more countries internationally, and making more groundbreaking moves.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd really like to see us grow to internationally. Yeah.
Big things, eh? As the guys would say, big things, innit? Hey. Yeah, there's a lot of exciting things that are coming. We're working on broadening our horizons into the international space, UK, America, going bigger in Africa. So we'll get to see a lot of things coming through the network and just overall growth. And yeah, everyone is going to be happy, I guess.
1 million subscribers is a milestone. It's a huge milestone. And reaching it just means that it shows that we're putting in work, and when you put in work, the outcome will show eventually, It just shows that we started from zero and we're here today. We're about to reach 1 million, or we've reached 1 million. I don't know when this will be out. But yeah, man, it just shows that, man, just keep on the path and everything will fall into place, man. The stars will eventually align. And yeah, believe in yourself more than anything.
Like everyone else, honestly, it is time for us to go globally. I agree with everyone. I think we all have the same vision. Someone also, you asked them who would they have liked to have here internationally, the likes of Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart, that's close to getting Kevin Hart. I had a contact directly there, and then because there's industry politics, whatever happened, So with some of these people, they are reachable, they are accessible. Even Dr. Uma Johnson, he was in the country. I was speaking to him directly before he even came into the country.
Yeah.
I was arranging that from a long time ago, And when he came into the country due to his schedule and whatever other things, we couldn't get him. But I am very much looking forward to us going globally, to us having access to international performers and broadcasters. I'd love for us to sit down with Charlemagne the God and Envy. I'm a big fan of The Breakfast Club. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
I think I know every single episode and every guest they've had.
Yeah.
And another thing I pick up from their show is that some guests, they come back 4-5 times.
Yeah.
They've had Dr. Uma Johnson like 5 times.
Many times.
You know, which is also something that I use as, you know, a background to say, if this much time has passed and this person has done so much more,
they need to come
then they need to come back and talk to us again. So if we've had you on the podcast, it does not mean that we cannot have you again.
Yeah.
As much as our vision is to go global, but we also need to have those people who are really like friends of the podcast. Yeah.
1 million subscribers means a lot. Considering when the network started, before it even became a network, we would celebrate just getting 100 views. And I bet those were our friends and our family members watching. But little by little it grew. It got to 10,000. That was celebrated. Got to 50,000, celebrated. 100,000, celebrated. And it just moved leaps and bounds and leaps and bounds to get to where it is now. So 1 million, that's no small feat, man. And going forward, what we look forward to is obviously grow other channels within the network. Like Onsite, make sure you watch it every Tuesday. Thank you very much. Where me, Marco, and Super Sub talk nonsense about football. But like, we're just growing leaps and bounds. That's what it's about, because from here you can only go up, you know? So big ups to 1 million chillers who have subscribed, because it's been a long time coming.
Yeah. Firstly, actually, before anything, I was a chiller, and I'm still a chiller. I still, take myself as a chiller. So this means a lot because I saw it in the beginning, and also being part of it, contributing to it, and now actually going to the million. Be like, hey, I remember back in the day we used to talk about that with the gents. Be like, hey, imagine reaching million. It'd be like, hey, it's gonna be crazy. But we were just saying that as if we're not sure that we're gonna reach it. But now it's actually happening. So, it's out of body experience. I don't lie. Yeah.
1 million subscribers is huge for anyone, and I think it would mean a lot to everyone in the network, let alone me. So, I mean, anyone who's been involved in podcasting knows that 50, 100, 1,000 views is really exciting. So to get to 1 million subscribers on the network is absolutely huge for anyone. What next for me, or how that excites me, is just being part of something like this, being able to engage with so many people and share my football passion, share my football knowledge, and just being involved in something like this consistently is really exciting.
It's beautiful to see something evolutionary. It gives me hope. It gives me faith. I mean, I'm living a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity right now, and just seeing it evolve from where it began and being part of the evolution is big. I mean, it's not something that's small. It's amazing. I mean, right now there's someone, hi mom, you're watching me on a screen, go SUNBET AREANA. Imagine me. Like, that's big. That's beautiful. I love it. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying every moment, I guess.
This is a milestone in entertainment, We are, like, the things that we do and the way we think about all this stuff, I wish there was a documentary about that process, because it's so natural. We talk about it, we write all the stuff, some of the stuff we write, we incorporate all these things and ideas, and we take all this information. We are present in our world before we go on to record the podcast. And that celebration that there's 1 million people that subscribe, not only watch, but just subscribe to this thing and say that whatever this channel produces, we want to be part of it. That's just amazing. Like, for me, that's just a milestone. I never thought any of this stuff would have ever happened to me, and now I'm hanging out with Robert Boy, Pops, who are like my best friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it's just the journey of like introducing myself to the world, introducing ourselves to the world, South Africa in the world. And for me, I really do believe, and I always say this, I believe that from that 1 million, we're gonna take over the world. Like, not even a joke. Like people think you're gonna take over the world. I'm telling you the truth. We're gonna take over the world. People are gonna understand us on our own turf. They're gonna understand us on our own terms. They're gonna understand what it means to be part of this, and they're gonna experience so much more through us. And I'm glad and grateful for this opportunity. Thank you, God. Thank you to all the ancestors. Thank you. Thank you, South Africa as well. Yeah.
Where would you like to see Popcorn and Cheese go? Travel to which country?
I want Russia.
Oh.
Yeah. AREANA.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go there to Russia. Vladimir Putin is gonna say turmeric the barbaric. That's what I want to see. It has to be that palatable. You understand? Like, that's what I see. Like, we don't do any of this stuff in front. Like, we take every single audience member that watches, whether it's 2 minutes, whether it's the whole episode, whether you watch all the episode, we take you serious. And we are serious here. You understand? People, we're serious. And we are going to seriously take over every single thing. And I'm
I think maybe being number one in the continent would be dope as a start.
Not number one already?
I don't know. I hope we are. I hope we will be after the 1 million. And then after that, the world, man. Whatever comes next would be good.
And just in your own personal life, how has the podcast just benefited you, in terms of your well-being and just life in general?
I think meeting new people, the characters, interesting characters. That's really the best part of it. Just the people I get to interact with every so often.
No, the future's bright, eh? The podcast we are going to get to a point of where there's other successful channels in it, and then even like having a TV production or something. Knowing Gucci, there's I don't know by visa, but under the podcast Gucci, there's a TV production that goes on. Iplex Studios gonna have their own studios, and outsource minang asasebenzi ngibe umlungu lapha yabona supervisor ngivele masengivela lapha, yeah, but no, great things. There's a lot that's gonna happen.
It's huge, Kosti. Like, it's huge knowing that what we do impacts a lot of people. Like, someone would comment there and say, you guys made my day, I had a terrible day. And knowing that the work that I do brightens someone's day, like, it's huge. Even the numbers, whenever the numbers are growing, they know I go crazy. Be like, yeah, we're almost there, gents. So it's been a great journey.
Probably I'll be, road to 10 million subscribers. Yeah, that's what I can say. Yeah.
You think you're still gonna make that?
Yeah, no, definitely. After here, we need to go for road to 10 million subscribers. It's definitely possible. I've seen it happen, so definitely it's possible.
Which events would you dream of actually hosting for the subscribers one day, for all the chillers?
There's one. I'm not sure, am I supposed to one? But there's one that we're working on right now. It's called the Chillers Fest.
Oh.
So it's a full-on, festival. So yeah, man, people gotta look out for that. It's gonna be really dope. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we're doing a whole. It sounds like a Coachella kind of.
Yeah. But it's that big. It's that big. So we've been in talks about it. So yeah, man, the Chillers gotta look out for that. It's definitely gonna be one for the books.
The future.
After 1 million.
After 1 million. After 1 million, gonna 2 million. After 2 million, gonna 5. After 5, city 10. What did you judge? I think the future is that. I think the future is also growing the network and letting people realize that we can do things on our own. We can control our own narrative. And that's what I love about the podcast is we're controlling our own narrative. So the future is us doing even more stuff. Popcorn and Cheese is just the start of many other things that are going to come out of the network. Yeah.
All right. Make sure you watch Popcorn and Cheese every Wednesday, 3 o'clock, dropping live on all streaming platforms. We broadcast from streaming studios. These are the studios that the Popcorn podcast team has been using since they got kicked out of David Mashamela for
Look, that's a very important question because I feel like it's in a nutshell, it's breaking ground because we are exploring territories that have never been explored before, and we are opening a lot of opportunities for people to come and explore what we have started. So it's exciting for all content creators, all podcasters to then grow within the space.
Corporate chillers need to step out of their comfort zone. I think they need to get out of watching behind the laptop and really be a part of this platform, you know. I do believe that we're absolutely brand friendly, and this is a platform that allows them to be a little bit more ambitious about the way they do things. You know, I think the whole sort of corporate way of doing things and the traditional way of doing things is not necessarily relatable. So I do believe that this is the platform where they can step out of their shells and really reach out to their audience in a more relatable way. So the vision after 1 million is really to get to 5 million and get to 10 million. So really, you know, in the world of YouTube, there are no ceilings whatsoever. You know, we've seen other platforms reach upwards of the hundreds of millions, and we really want to be the best podcast in the world, and really playing out there with the likes of Joe Rogan and other players as well. So we do see ourselves as a global player, and the vision is really to make this thing go truly global.
When we're doing this docu, I was talking to Neo and Black Studio. I was like, yo, we need to go back and find like snippets and clips that we can use to in the docu so people can see where we come from, right? So Neo was like, yeah, that would be dope. So he was like, whatever podcast clip that you have from the past, please share it to me. So I then went on my hard drive. We have stored like all the past things that we've done. And then that's only when it hit me to see how far we've come, you know? Because I saw like the first party we did where there was just 10,000 people, 10,000 subscribers, I mean. And then I saw like all the interviews we've done. I saw the pictures. I saw where we've been, like Ghana. You know, there was a video I sent to Neo where we were dancing at Zahara's house with Blackie, you know, stuff like that. That made me go back like in time. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have even thought about that, because like I said, I'm always thinking about what's next. So I never really have time to be like, oh fuck, we did this, we did that, we did that. It's always like, okay, cool, what's next?
Please congratulate
Aye. I don't come with that bullshit, man. Aye, we're rocking, man. A station.
Welcome to Black Excellence. Do not fear, for if you do, just sip on some grandeur. And if you still do, ask ourselves, what would Mapapunzi do? Phakama chila, ixesha lefiki, Ungoyiki, even if when they ask you, how sabini, do not fear. For if you do, just say, Anistiri. This is the medicine of censorship. This is the pill. Which one is that one? Podcast and chill.